Hello everybody, this is Cathy Cassidy and I'm here for Sunday Book Club. And things are getting a little bit Christmassy where I live, and hopefully they are where you are as well. Today, which is kind of the first weekend in December, we're actually putting our tree up and putting our decorations up. And I was worrying and thinking, will we get it all finished in time for me to actually do my Sunday Book Club by the Christmas tree? But I don't think we will, because we've got lots of little lights that need replacing, so we're still sorting all that out. But I can still do my Sunday Book Club by the Christmas tree, because I got this beautiful mini Christmas tree delivered to me on the 1st of December by my best friend Helen, who always knows exactly how to make me smile. And it's a real tree, so when December's over I can put it into the garden, plant it, and hopefully bring it in again next year, and so on until it's maybe 6 feet tall or whatever. So I love that. It's such a great present, and really put a smile on my face. And it's got its own little lights and its own little decorations. So thank you, Helen. You are the best. Always know how to make me feel better and cheer up my December. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a Christmassy theme question, and it comes from Stardate on the YouTube channel, and she says, what is your favourite family tradition for Christmas that you can do even in lockdown? And actually, I think my favourite Christmas tradition is the putting the decorations up and the putting the tree together. And at this point, when I'm talking to you today, obviously early on in December, I still don't know if I'm going to be able to see my children for Christmas. I'm hoping that my grown-up children will be able to travel and come and stay for Christmas, even if it's just for those few days around Christmas Day. But we're not totally sure yet. So this year, the whole decorating the Christmas tree has been very different. It's been me and my husband kind of slotting things together, because on our usual tree, not this little beauty, our usual tree is an artificial tree, and we kind of slot it all together, and it goes in the hallway near the stairs. Then go the lights, then go the decorations, and so on. And I love this. Normally we have a day where it's full of Christmas music, and the kids would be there, and their friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, etc. will all be there helping us to decorate the tree. And it turns, there'll be mince pies and all the rest of it. And it's such a lovely feel-good day, and it feels a little bit quiet and a little bit strange with just me and my husband doing it, but it's managed to make me smile hugely anyway. And part of that is just unpacking the box with all the Christmas decorations in. And I don't know, hopefully a lot of you watched and listened to last week's Sunday Book Club, and I told you about the winner of the certified amazing human being badge for last week, who was a girl called Shannon. And I knew Shannon from when she was really quite little, because she would often come to book signings and so on. But what I had forgotten until today, when I went digging around in the Christmas decorations box, is that, I had this, which is a beautiful handmade decoration made of felt with little embroidered things on and some glitter and all the rest of it. It's the kind of thing you would expect your kids to make and bring home from school or whatever. But when I looked on the back, I suddenly realised it wasn't made by one of my kids. It was actually made by the lovely Shannon. So yeah, you are extra awesome for that. And I really smiled when I saw this. It's so beautiful. So thank you. And the other thing that I wanted to mention that's a bit of a tradition is putting the fairy on the tree. And we have a homemade fairy. This is she, and I think she's actually looking a little bit the worse for wear. One of her legs has gone a little bit kind of wobbly this time, but she's made of papier-mâché. She's painted, and she's wearing a dress made from beautiful vintage lace and bits of scrap silk. and her hair is made from embroidery threads, and she has this lovely squishy cellophane for wings, as well as some twigs, because I liked that. She is the second homemade fairy that I've made for our Christmas tree, and she's probably now about 5-6 years old, but she did definitely get squashed when being put away in the box last year, so I'm not sure. Maybe this year or next year I will be thinking of making another Christmas tree fairy, but it's something I really love doing. So for some years in the past, making Christmas decorations, whether they're little peg fairies or drying out slices of orange and stringing them up across, as decorations, those things I absolutely love. And one crazy year when my kids were little, I got involved in doing a Christmas fair to raise funds for the village playgroup. That was so much fun. So yeah, I absolutely love all those things that go along with Christmas, possibly with the exception of the baking bits. A couple of years ago, I made mince pies, thinking, in the past I've been very kind of earth mother and made my own mince meat and all the rest of it. And these few years ago, I did the mince pies and they exploded all over the oven. So they're now, a bit of a joke in our family and with friends. But there are so many awesome things that are fun to make and that don't explode. And I thought, because today's Sunday Book Club, it's going to mainly be about books that you might want to buy for Christmas. And I thought I would actually just start off with one of mine. It's this one, Chocolate Box Secrets. And it goes along with the series, The Chocolate Box Girls. And it takes you through all of the seasons, giving you lots of arts and crafts and recipes and different things that you might like to try in that season. So I was going to dip into the winter season, mainly because it has the instructions for making the tree fairy, including, there she is, when she was in all her beautiful glory, brand new, newly made. So I don't know, I absolutely love this book anyway, just because I'm a reformed art teacher and I absolutely love making stuff. So I'll tell you some of the things that are listed that you could maybe make. There's loads of ideas, things like carol singing, making mince pies. I kind of wouldn't dare to write about that anymore, but this was done before the mince pie incident. Hanging the stockings, Christmas morning, all the things that the Chocolate Box Sisters do in their series. Writing Christmas lists, decorating the tree, making the cake. But when it comes to the crafts, Tree Fairy was the first one on the list, and you can see her. And there is the option that you can actually change the design and do your own. There's also instructions for how to make beautiful felted Christmas stockings and embroider them as well. And what else have we got? We have shoestring prezzies, what to do if pennies are really tight around Christmas time. And one of the ideas is to make button hair clips, so you can make lovely little hair slides using scrap fabric and making little rosettes to go on hair clips. And another gorgeous one, this is a favourite of mine, is hot chocolate mix in a little jam jar. And it's so easy, but if you put a beautiful label on it, it makes the most gorgeous, adorable present. There is the recipe for bath fizz bombs, a bit like the kind you might spend lots of money on in the shops. And lots of ideas for how to give a present without spending very much money. And there's an idea for how to make your own Christmas crackers, which is great these days, now that we're all very eco-friendly and trying to be aware of how we kind of want to not waste lots of plastic and all of that. There's a recipe for chocolate truffles, Paddy's chocolate truffles recipe, which, trust me, is the most wicked and gorgeous truffle recipe ever. Ideas for how to wrap your presents to make them look gorgeous. All that and more, and then ideas for New Year and just getting through the winter. So Chocolate Box Secrets, it's likely to be, if you know a Cathy Cassidy fan, it's likely to be one book they might not have and really, really should have. If you know someone between the ages of, say, 9 and 15 or 9 and 99, let's say, you know, who's creative, artistic, imaginative, that could be a perfect present. And although if you've been listening to my chapters of Angel Cake, you'll know that this is starting to be a very Christmassy story, and that's why I chose it as the one to read to you at the moment. So that would make a good Christmas present. But also my newest book, which is Forever Phoenix. If you have a look at the cover of Forever Phoenix, you can see that it's going to have a really Christmassy flavour. There is a beautiful vintage sledge, there's mistletoe, there's snowflakes, and, you know, the climax of the story takes place at Christmas. So if you don't have a copy of Forever Phoenix yet, it would make a fantastic, beautiful Christmas present. Yeah, and just going back to Angel Cake, I wanted to give a little shout out to Vasudha, who is following on my YouTube channel, and she said she was really thankful that I was reading the chapters. I'm not sure where Vasudha is in the world. I have a feeling maybe not in Britain, but I'm not sure. But that message really made me smile this week. And quickly, this week's Certified Amazing Human Being badge will very soon be winging its way to a little girl called Amelie, who is a regular on the YouTube channel and on Sunday Book Club, and who has missed a few weeks, these last few weeks, because her mum Nicola has been quite poorly with the virus. And I, you know, when I found that out, I was so sad, because trying to imagine what it would be like to be, you know, that kind of age. I'm not sure. I think Amelie is 8 or 9. Quite scary and strange to have that kind of anxiety. So Amelie, I think, is a deserving recipient of the badge this week. She's also a kind of awesome eco warrior in the making. She reminds me very much of Coco from the series. And I believe that kids like Amelie will actually save the world. They care so much about animals and the natural world. So on those 2 counts, Amelie is going to be the winner of the badge this week. So having done that, I thought I would go through my suggestions for awesome Christmas presents. And I've already given my own books a plug, so I'm now free to tell you the books I think you could buy, either for yourselves if you're grown up, or for children if you've got kids in your family, or kids of friends, whatever. And for all different reasons. And most of the books I'm talking about today are actually children's books, but that doesn't mean that they're only for children. I think we've kind of proved that point, haven't we, with reading the chapters of my books. So the very first one, oh my goodness, the most beautiful book this year, I think, The Lost Spells. It's by Robert Macfarlane and Jackie Morris. And Jackie Morris is the illustrator, and inside you will see the most stunning artwork. Just so beautiful. I love this one of the owl, because I keep hearing an owl every morning now where we live. And the pictures, the illustrations are matched up with beautiful little spell poems, which are just stunning. So it's a little hardback, small in size, but huge in the impact that it makes. And I have bought this so as a present for somebody that I'm pretty sure won't be watching this. I hope so anyway. It's an absolute bargain and recommend to anybody. And another book that I will be giving freely this Christmas, it's a poetry book, and I'm a huge fan of poetry at the best of times, but around Christmas, 100%. And this one is called Poems to Save the World With, and it's chosen and illustrated by the awesome Chris Riddell, who was one of our children's laureates. And it's just stunning. It's got the most gorgeous gorgeous artworks in it, and very uplifting, thought-provoking, beautiful poems from amazing poets, old and new. So you'll find classics and poems perhaps that you've read before, and you'll also find new amazing ones. And the artwork just makes it so beautiful. And this one is one of my favourite poems. It's by John Clare, who is a poet from a long time, hundreds of years ago, and yet it's been illustrated with the lockdown in mind, even with the goats from Llandudno, which is a town very close to where I live, and this beautiful, poignant picture of the girl in the window looking at her phone. So I love that the book can match a poem from hundreds of years ago and make it relevant using those illustrations and artwork with what we've been going through this year. But Christmas is definitely a time for tradition, I think, and one book that I go back to time after time is this. It's kind of become a bit of a tradition that we read this, sometimes read it aloud on Christmas Day. My daughter is a fan of this story too, and it's called A Child's Christmas in Wales, and it's by the awesome Dylan Thomas, one of Wales's most famous poets. However, this particular edition is very, very special to me because the illustrations are by the amazing Peter Bailey. Now, Peter Bailey is not just a fantastic illustrator. He also was a fabulous tutor at the Art College in Liverpool, and he happened to be my tutor when I did my degree in illustration. So it means so much to me to have this book illustrated by the guy that was teaching me illustration back in the day. He's also one of the kindest, sweetest guys ever. He and his wife are an absolute darling couple. So absolutely beautiful book. It's a little slim hardback. Should find it in any good bookshop or of course online. But I'm just showing you the cover because if you are going to buy this book for Christmas, and I think that, the poem in it is so heartwarming and so funny and lovely, but make sure you get the one illustrated by Peter Bailey because he's awesome. And another one full of tradition this time, it's a gorgeous edition of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This one is a Penguin edition, and I think it's from last year. But I absolutely love that beautiful ornate cover. I mean, who would not adore to open that up on Christmas morning? And then 3 little picture books. This one, Old as the Hills, Good King Wenceslas. This is a paperback picture book that we've had since my children were tiny, and we love it, love it, love it. So it means a lot to me. There is this one. It's called Last Stop on the Reindeer Express, and Maudie Powell Tuck and Carl James Mountford. It's their book, and it's fantastic because it does have these amazing cutouts and awesome bits inside, and the artwork is just so beautiful. So if you have a look at that, just adore it. And it's, it's a timeless story. And I think I love it just as much as I would have if I'd been given this as a child. So yeah, I think it's for all ages too. But if you do have a small child that you could give that to, yeah, 100% recommend. And I'm going to finish with another oldie. It's The Story of Christmas, and it's illustrated by the amazing Jane Ray. And she is my favourite illustrator ever. And I'll just show you some of the gorgeous, gorgeous artwork inside. Fantastic. There's a bit of the nativity scene. And I particularly loved the way that Jane Ray does angels. And I know I taught lots of art lessons when I was an art teacher, based on these beautiful angels, and the way that Jane Ray works gold and silver and real feathers and collage into the work. So that is the story of Christmas, written and illustrated by Jane Ray. And that is my little, that's my list of Christmas goodies that you could add to your book buying list this Christmas. And if you can't think of anybody to buy them for, maybe buy them for you, because you are worth it. And of course, anybody who thinks they may be spending Christmas on their own, I think you deserve an extra treat because of that. So yeah, let's not stint with the book buying, because they're always going to be there for you, and you will always pick them up and find something new and something special. I will be back next week for another Sunday book club, but also don't forget I'll be here every weekday reading another chapter of Angel Cake, and the story is now really ramping up and getting dramatic and very Christmassy at the same time. So I really think you're going to enjoy it. And if you've missed the first few chapters or the first 20 chapters or whatever, it's okay, because they're all there on the YouTube channel. You can binge watch them. Sometimes it's quite nice to do that. But take care, stay safe, and I will see you next Sunday. Stay safe till then.